Hello viewers, this is GMC Children of Light talk show. God bless you for tuning in. Today we are here to discuss a very serious topic in our society, which is bullying and body shaming. We believe that it's very serious and we are trying to spread awareness about it. So my name is Miracle and this is
Kelly, Vivian,
Kamsi.
So the first part of this topic is, what is bullying and body shaming? Vivian, please.
Thank you, Miracle. So, body shaming is to criticize or mock someone for supposed bodily faults or imperfections, and this could be their shape, size, weight, bodily hair, and many more.
Thank you, Vivian. Kelly, please.
I think that bullying is the intentional hurting of someone in a group or person by themselves, and where there's also like an imbalance of power, so the person won't retaliate or do anything about it. And I think that body shaming is also criticizing someone's body weight or shape or size or something like that. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Kamsi?
So I believe body shaming is making fun or mocking a person's physical appearance. Thank you.
Thank you. So yes, I believe that bullying is the repeated negative behavior that is intended to make others feel upset or unsafe or uncomfortable. And I believe that body shaming is when you criticize your own appearance through judgment or comparing yourself to somebody else, or criticizing somebody else's appearance in front of them or behind their back. So now we move on to, what are the causes of bullying and body shaming? Kamsi, please.
So I'll be talking about body shaming, and I believe that's when the oppressor feels superior to the victim. So in this way, they feel more able than the victim, and for this, they choose to mock them for it, and then make them feel, I guess, like a cast out. And they do this like without considering the outcomes. So say the effects that person may feel in the future, basically just making the person feel like they're inferior to the person and inferior to people, and this usually makes the person not like want to speak out to others and usually keep whatever they're experiencing to themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamsi. Kelly, please.
I think that bullying happens because sometimes the bullies think that they're somewhat better than the person being bullied, kind of like what Kamsi said, because sometimes the confidence that the person being bullied, for example, has, the bully may feel jealous that they have that type of confidence, so then they decide to take it out on the person by bullying them. Studies also showed that 1 out of every 5 report bullying while the others stay silent. This means that the results in an increase of bullying because not everybody speaks out. And I think body shaming happens because sometimes people just pick on people, but apart from that, like I said before, that they may be somewhat jealous of that person's confidence, so they result in trying to put the person down, or like an imbalance of power where they know that the person will not retaliate. And among teenagers, a lot of them felt upset and felt ashamed in relationship to their body image. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Vivian, please.
Thank you. So, first of all, I'd like to agree that most people who bully or body shame others, they do it because they are put in this kind of hierarchy where they see themselves more important, which is never the case because everyone is always equal. So that's one thing we need to first of all remember, that we shouldn't feel little because society may put us in a kind of group or box where we look inferior because we're all equal and we're all important. But I think one very important factor of bullying and body shaming today, I think everyone can agree, is social media. I think social media puts this like kind of criteria that you have to follow, this certain way you're meant to look, this certain way that you're meant to present yourself, this certain way that you're meant to be to feel accepted. And I think that is one main issue, because even as young as we are now, there are even people younger than us that look at these pictures, look at these, instructions of how to be loved or whatever, and feel like, oh, well, I'm not like this, I must feel silly, I'm not worthy, I need to try and be someone I'm not. I think that is a very big factor of bullying and body shaming, because I feel like if we believe that we don't look this certain way, we don't act this way, then, we're not worthy. So I feel like society, although it isn't meant to be how it is. So I don't think social media is meant to be putting this out, meant to be, making us feel little, but that is what is happening today. So I feel like social media and society has a very impact on bullying and body shaming.
Thank you, Vivian. So I think that one of the causes of bullying and body shaming, it can be an expression of anger or frustration due to problems that the bully has. So through like school or home or a workplace. So they may be going through things and they use that as an excuse to take it out on somebody else. Another reason can be a result of poor upbringing. So they were brought up without care or attention in their household, and through that they don't learn how to respect people and treat other people with kindness. Another reason can be violent games or movies. These can influence people's behaviours, and we may not think it does, but it can, and people can become more violent as a result of watching these violent movies and games, and so they can become more violent with other people, and that can lead to bullying and body shaming. Another reason can be attention-seeking behaviour. So, for example, they aren't getting the attention that they want at home or with their families, and so they want that attention through bullying other people. So then people look at them and people can focus on them, even though it may not be a good attention, but they still want that type of attention. And Vivian said as well, people may find themselves in like a position of power, and they don't have the skills to use that power wisely, and so they use it as an excuse to pick on other people and treat them unfairly. And my last reason is that in some schools and workplaces, there's no like culture of respect or anything like that. So because there's no respect, people don't think it's necessary to treat others kindly and fairly, and so things like bullying and body shaming may arise. So now we move on to our next part of this topic is how can we stop bullying and body shaming? So can we see please?
So I'd say one way we could stop body shaming and bullying is, say if you witness this going on, or say you're experiencing it, I'd always say to speak up to someone and make sure just tell someone rather than to suffer in silence and do nothing about it. Because I feel like once you do this, you have more people to support you, help you, get you through your experiences, even say tell someone so they can say stop the person from bullying you, or even if you witness this, always tries to support that person. And also I'd say you could also say just try and ignore the person. Say if they're bullying you, just not try to pay attention to them, because I feel like you don't have the right to, you shouldn't have the right to entertain their actions. I also believe that if, say, you pay attention to them, this encourages them to continue, maybe even get even worse. So I just say, just try to ignore them, don't entertain them, don't pay attention to them, and maybe just move on. And as I said before, just talk to someone, make sure you just don't suffer in silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamsi. Vivian, please.
Thank you. So kind of going on with what Kamsi said, although it's easier said than done, it is best to not feed their negative energy, because sometimes we may think that attacking fire with fire is going to help anything, but all it's going to do is probably going to keep you being bullied and body shamed. I think the most important thing you should do is know your own self-worth. This could be through doing stuff you like interests, hobbies, just finding how you're more comfortable with yourself, knowing your worth, so you know that you don't need to entertain this kind of behaviour. You're better than that, okay? Also, I think something that is very important to kind of help reduce bullying and body shaming is being a kind person yourself, treating others with respect, being that kind of role model that creates this culture of acceptance, and just showing others that it's okay to be nice, it's okay to be the way you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. Kelly?
Like most people have already said here, but I feel like one way that can reduce bullying is by setting up forums to talk about it, or like an anonymous email to send to. For example, I know in my school, like we have like this kind of like forum that we have to talk about bullying or anything that you really want to bring up about anything if it's bothering you. And I feel like it's a really, really good way to help stop bullying and body shaming, because one of the ways that it's anonymous, so it helps protect the victim as well, instead of because sometimes when they have their names on the thing or like something like that, it can be very harmful to the victims, as they may feel like they're not being supported in the right way. But having it to be anonymous is really good. And I think that we can also raise assemblies to talk about these issues as in the beginning of school. Well, most schools they always have assemblies in like the morning, and like that's where everybody's came to school, everyone's in, and you know everyone's in one big place, and that's when they can bring up issues like this. As I also feel like a lot of body shaming and bullying happens in school, especially in secondary school and like universities and college, and I feel like this could be a really good way to stop bullying and body shaming. And there is evidence based that bullying prevention programs and social emotional learning programs for schools have been shown to be effective in reducing and stopping bullying. So I think that these could be really good ways to stop it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. So I think a really good way to stop bullying and body shaming is do workshops, as these talk about the effects of bullying, how to combat it, and give you advice on what to do if you're being bullied in that situation. And they do this through like fun and interactive games, and they like, for example, role play or games or discussion or improvisation. And through this, people are able to engage with the activities they're doing and also learn about bullying and body shaming. So I feel like these are really helpful. Another way is counselling. So these can be counselling for the bullied and also the bullied. And this can help as people are being open with their emotions, expressing how they feel in that situation, and people can come to like a conclusion on what to do to help both people in that situation. And statistics actually show that there are an estimated 26,000 counselling sessions per year in the UK with children related to bullying. So that great amount shows that it can be effective and that it can work to help people with bullying and body shaming. So now we move on to the next part, which is people's experiences and the effects it has on them physically, intellectually, emotionally, and socially. So I'll start with Kelly, please.
As you know, bullying can create a culture of fear and has a negative impact on everybody, and so is body shaming. A way that physically they can be impacted is that they may develop like mental disorders, mental issues. And a way that they can be intellectually affected, they can, stop coming to school or missing a lot of school time or not doing any schoolwork, or, hanging out less with friends, or like emotionally and socially, they can stop going to, their friend's house, stop going out of their house in general, and they may feel depressed, or they may even feel angry about it, and it can really ruin someone's life and mood. And as we know, bullying and body shaming does have really bad effects on the person, and at its worst, they can actually be driven to suicide. So as the statistics shows, youth who are bullied are at increased risk for depression, anxiety, sleep difficulties, lower academic achievement, and dropping out of schools. Also, extensive levels of body shaming can also have negative emotional effects, as they may develop stuff like body dysmorphia, eating disorders, mood swings, and depression. And 1 in 8 adults experience suicidal thoughts or feelings because of their concerns about their body image. So as we know, body shaming and bullying is a very, very serious issue which can actually lead to death. So it's an issue that we actually need to solve before even more casualties happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Kamsi, please.
So I'll be elaborating on the mental, physical, and social effects bullying and body shaming has. So mentally, bullying can cause serious mental health problems such as depression and even maybe a lack of self-esteem. So this can cause the victims to maybe not be able to partake in opportunities given to them, and also have thoughts say that their life is meaningless, or say thoughts of taking their own life to escape the pain. Socially, bullying can cause people to isolate themselves from others, not being able to talk up, basically just trying to separate themselves from people so they don't get judged. So they feel like if, say, they talk to someone, maybe someone would just not acknowledge their experiences and just take it for something that's not as serious as I guess they believe it is. Physically, this can cause bullying and body shaming can cause serious weight loss problems, and even eating disorders such as bulimia, and even weight loss disorders such as anorexia. And also this can be because, say, the victim is trying to follow an ideal expectation or follow perfectionism, so maybe like a perfect body image, and they try to say follow the crowd, not knowing the effects this can actually pose towards themselves, and maybe even the effects that their actions, say, pose to people around them, say their family, their friends, and the ongoing, I guess, effects it will have, say, if they try to change themselves to, I guess, meet an ideal expectation, as I said before. So I guess these are like the effects that usually affects the victims most significantly. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamsi. Vivian, please.
Thank you. So basically everything that Kamsi and Kelly said, the physical, mental, academical effects, they all kind of link. Say, for example, if you are feeling upset all the time because you're being bullied or body shamed, you will feel tired, not just physically but emotionally. It's draining going through all of this. You will see the effects in like lessons, maybe they're usually sleeping or they're not performing as well, or they want to isolate, like Kamsi said, they want to isolate, they don't want to be near people, they don't want to be near like social events. It's just little things like these, which might be difficult to spot, but it's really there in front of you. Like if you see people are mentally tired or physically tired, they don't want to contribute to society, they don't want to, you know, be around their friends and stuff like that, then these are the basic like easy effects and signs that people are suffering from bullying and body shaming.
Thank you, Vivian. So I'll start off with physically how it can affect people. So this can be self-injurious behaviour, such as cutting or inflicting harm on oneself. So this is self-harm. This can also lead to suicide as well. If that individual has low self-esteem, they can suffer from perfectionism or anxiety, and they can also develop an eating disorder, like Kamsi said. Intellectually as well, they might skip school, they might not go to lessons, they might not be doing as well as they were before, and their academic record might be really bad as a result of all the bullying and body shaming they're going through, because they don't have the effort to put effort into school anymore. And they can also start to develop a stammer, so this can be because of the anxiety they feel around other people through bullying and body shaming that they have faced. Emotionally, this can lead to mental illnesses such as depression and anxiety, like we've already mentioned before. This can also cause PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's typically found in people that have suffered from bullying. Socially, they might be distant from friends and family, so they might not be interactive anymore, and they might not talk to people as much because they don't want to socialize with other people. And so it can really have a really big impact on their lives as they become distant with everybody and everything. So now we're going to move on to the next part, which is advice on what you should do if you're in that situation. So I'll start with Vivian, please.
Thank you. So first of all, I think the most important advice is self-love. I know it's easier said than done, but honestly it's best for you to find time within yourself, find what you like, find what you're comfortable with, so you understand your value, you understand how you deserve to be treated. No one's better than you, everyone is equal. If you're able to find yourself and be comfortable with yourself, and even feel free broadcasting it maybe to social media or anything, and presenting that it's okay to be how you are and it's okay for other people to feel confident with who they are, then, you know, body shaming, bullying, it will defo decrease, because people will be educated on the fact that it's okay to be different. Not everyone is the same, but in the sense of importance, we are all equal. I think that it's important to try not to follow the crowd. Usually you're in a group of friends who aren't very nice, or, you know, just do things that you know really shouldn't, that you know that they really shouldn't, and you have that kind of voice in yourself that, you know, oh, this is wrong, if this were me, I wouldn't want this happening to me. You can be that different person. You don't need to just be a bystander and just not say anything. You can be the upstander who actually speaks out and says, no, this is wrong, I'm not going to follow this crowd, I'm not going to be someone who just follows because that's what's going on. You can be different because you have that voice, you're not being controlled, you have that confidence to do whatever you want. Also, talking to someone is very important. You do need support. Everyone needs a little bit of support, especially with being bullied and with being body shamed. whether you're talking to a teacher, a friend, whether you're getting professional help, or even if it's calling Childline, which is 08001111, just to basically talk about your experiences. Like Kelly said, with forums, there are many different ways you can get support, even if it's like people like us you want to reach out to. There are so many people that are here to help you find your self-worth, find, you know, who you are, and like help you get out of these situations. Also, I've got a little Bible verse. It's Matthew 22:39. It says, love your neighbours as yourself, which I think the most important message of all of this is love. If you are able to treat others the way you would like to be treated, then, you know, all of this wouldn't be happening. And if you're a person who thinks, well, you don't love yourself, so you think it's okay to treat others like that, then you yourself need to find what is best for you. You need to be comfortable with yourself and understand how to act in self-love. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. Kamsi, please.
So I'd say to bullying victims, I would say to always surround yourself in a group of people who you trust and you believe will help you, say, protect you from situations where a bully will try to pick on you. Always try to alert an adult of the situation so they can also come up with solutions to help you in these, with your experiences. To body shaming victims, I'd say to always preach body positivity and always stay positive. At the end of the day, we were all made in God's image and we should all feel perfect in our bodies. Don't try to let anyone tell you otherwise, and also don't let anyone tell you to change your body to make you believe you should follow a perfect body standard. And also just try to, as Vivian said, don't try to like follow a crowd, or just try to be yourself amongst others, and just surround yourself with people who always keep you positive, not let you get negative. Just have like positive thoughts, and I guess that will help you with the experiences you encounter, say in your daily life, or say in school, or just whatever. Just be positive, really. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamsi. Kelly?
I think like basically what they've both said, but by reporting it to someone that you trust or someone that you know, it could be a family member, your best friend, or like a teacher, or maybe your therapist. I feel like talking to someone in general can honestly make it a lot better. And I know sometimes it's hard to talk about it because you may feel like people may not understand you or know what you're passing through. But I promise you that if you do talk to someone, the chances are that they are going to understand you, or maybe out of the 10 people that you talk to, one person will at least understand what you're going through. And honestly, it can make your bad experience a whole lot better, and you will feel, you know, less alone, and it can combat suicidal attempts and stuff like that. I also think that this is for the general public, as like maybe you're a bystander to bullying or body shaming. If you see these things, please try and speak out. I know sometimes it can be hard to speak out because you don't want to get picked on as well as a cause of standing out, but sometimes you do have to make these sacrifices, and please try and speak up about it if you see a person getting bullied, as studies show that when bystanders to bullying intervene, bullying stops within the 10 seconds 57% of the time, which is a high percentage. So if you do see these things happening, and if you don't want to get involved as in right there and then please speak to it to a teacher or someone that you trust, so it can help the person, and you know, it can really save someone's life if you think about it. Also learning how to love ourselves, as trying not to let people say affect us. We can also confront these people who perpetuate body shaming, such as like your family members or your friends or your co-workers. And once that you've become more aware of these body shaming issues, you know, you may notice how often your friends do it or anybody around you. Please talk to them, discuss about these issues to them, and you know, you can help stop it. And I have a little Bible verse to read. It's Proverbs 19 verse 8. It says, whoever gets sense loves his own soul. He who keeps understanding will discover good. This is quite a hard Bible verse to understand, but I think it means personally that if we love our own self, if we love ourselves in the way that God loves us, if we don't care about other people's opinions, if we just really and truly love ourselves, we will discover things that are good. So if you're having issues with how you view yourself, body dysmorphia, if you just love yourself, and I know it's easier said than done, but if you love yourself, try not to care what people say about you, I feel like you will discover something good, and your mood will increase, and a lot of things will just happen. You'll feel a bit more happy with your life, and I feel like that's just all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kelly, and everyone else. So yes, this is my advice on what to do in that situation. I think most people have already said this, but I really want to stress on the point that you shouldn't suffer in silence. If something's happening to you, if you're being bullied, body shamed, and it's going too far, you should tell somebody about it. And even if it's not your parents, you can tell a teacher, you can tell your friends, you can tell somebody you trust, just anybody at all, because if you stay silent about it, it's not going to go away. The problem's not going to go away. It's going to keep on happening. So the best thing to do is tell someone about it so they can intervene and can stop it before it goes too far, because you don't want to end up suffering the effects from it later on in life. Another piece of advice I would give is that you should remember that it's not your fault that you're going through that body shaming or bullying, because sometimes people like to pick on other people, like we've already went through the causes, because they seek attention or they have nothing better to do with themselves, and so they pick on other people. So remember, it's not your fault that you're going through it. There's nothing wrong with you as a person. A Bible verse for this is Romans 2 verse 1, which says, "You therefore have no excuse, you who pass judgment on someone else. For at whatever point you judge another, you are condemning yourself, because you who pass judgment do the same things." Basically, what this Bible verse is trying to say is that the person judging you is in no position to judge, because they do the same thing as well. And I feel like this can be applied to body shaming and bullying, because a lot of the time people that bully or body shame other people is because they're projecting their own insecurities, their own fears, their own problems to other people. So they're hurting other people because they are hurt themselves. So this Bible verse is saying that they have no excuse to do that, because they are going through something, or they are doing the same thing as someone else, because they're in no position to do that. So it shows that the problem is not you, but the problem is them. Another point I would say is that you should practice being kind towards your body. So you should tell yourself you're beautiful every day, look yourself in the mirror and know that you're perfect the way you are. Try not to talk down on yourself or belittle yourself or make yourself feel insecure. And a Bible verse to support this is Genesis 1 verse 26 to 27, which says, "Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness," which is basically saying that we are made in God's image. So if we're made in God's image, how can we not be perfect? Because God himself is perfect, meaning that we are fine just the way we are. And this can be this can be put upon society standards on people. So women are expected to have skinny bodies, and men are expected to have abs. But if we don't fit into those categories, it doesn't mean that we're not beautiful or we're not perfect the way we are. And a lot of the time, society tries to tell us that we need to be slimmer, or we need to gain weight, we're too skinny, or we need to do this, we don't look good the way we are. And I feel like we should practice being kind towards our body, because we don't all look the same, and we don't all have to look the same to be considered healthy or to be considered good looking at all. And we are made in God's image, so God knows that we are all different, and he appreciates our differences, and he knows that we're perfect the way we are. I would also say that you should curate your social media. So this means following positive things and being surrounded by positive people on social media. You should try not to follow negative things or things that may bring you down. So if every time you go on social media, all you'll see is Instagram models that look nice all the time, maybe if that makes you feel bad about yourself, follow other things that make you feel better about yourself, and try and make your social media not affect you in a negative way, but a positive way. So now this has taken us to the end of our talk show today. Thank you all for listening. If you have anything that you want to speak about as a youth or a parent, please contact these numbers below. +44 74 501 482 42 and +44 79 303 404 45. Our Instagram is _.childrenoflight.instagram and our Facebook is Children Light. Our email is gmcchildrenoflight@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.